opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the views of any other individual or entity. It's Maya time.
Right? And then
Yeah.
that even goes back to our thing that we talked about with client care.
Yes.
Caring for the
Yes.
client, assessment is going to help the
Amen
client
to
understand that you care.
Amen to that, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like what I said, like you're right. Most of our students, they feel very overwhelmed. And to be honest with you, you're never gonna memorize 150 tests. You're never gonna memorize the muscles right away. But if you do care about what you're doing,
Yes.
you're gonna force to learn it because you care.
Yes.
Because you freaking care. And I think as for you to be successful in this field, care is the most natural thing that you should have as a massage therapist. Hello, everyone. My name is Steph, the massage therapist, and welcome to the very first episode of MyoInsights, where we talk about all massage therapy. We're still working on that again, but I'm so excited because I have my work bestie with me today with a decade of experience for to be a massage therapist and 15 in healthcare, and we're gonna know more about her as we have more episodes and coming in. Let's give it a big warm applause to my co-host Shireen. Shireen, I mean, I always call her like that, by the way. Even my dogs know that when they hear the name Shireen, they know that it's her. And obviously, this episode would not be possible without our producer, the pod mentor. So let's get it started, eh? So hear me out. Okay, I have a weird story. I have a colleague that told me that she was born breech. Okay? And I'm like, why are you telling me this story? Because apparently her skills as a massage therapist is coming from the fact that she naturally got it because she was born breech. So for you who don't know about it, instead of the what do you call it, Shireen? Like the normal delivery is like head out first, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then for this one, it's feet first.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, for you to become a naturally gifted massage therapist, you need to be born breech. So what the hell? I'm not born breech. So it doesn't
I'm
mean
not
I'm a
born
bad.
breech.
So does it mean we're bad? I mean, no hate. I'm just saying, like, do you really need to be born breech for you to be a good RMT or a massage therapist? What do you think? What's your say on this, girl? You gotta let me know, because this is bizarre.
No, I don't think you need to be born breech to be a great massage therapist. It's all about your skills, your knowledge, and your experience is what's going to make you great. And your
And
care for
again,
people.
perfect. Care. Actually, I don't know, like, I started to become a massage therapist because obviously my mom pushed me to do it. It's not really my it's not even my, but what I learned when I started to become a massage therapist is that care is essential.
Yeah.
How about you when you start? Because I know that you were in healthcare, but not
Yes.
necessarily massage right away, right? So
No.
what happened with that? Like what's your side of the story?
So my side is, well, same. When I finished high school, my parents were like, "You have to go to post secondary." So pretty much, I just ended up picking anything. And I went like social worker route, which I realize I cannot be a social worker, but I do enjoy helping people though. And then I had children, and I realized, I definitely need to get a job that has good pay. And I decided to become a physiotherapy assistant because I did enjoy helping. And that's kind of what got me into the rehabilitation life and understanding how rehabilitation does help people. And I really enjoyed that part, but the pay wasn't good.
Ah,
So
yes, I agree. Like I have a lot of like PTA friends
yeah.
that I really encourage them, like, hey, become a massage therapist instead.
Yes.
It might sound biased, but because I see that they really care, but because of the title of a physical
Yes.
therapist assistant holds them back. I hate it. I hate it so
Yeah.
much.
You're
So I really
limited.
advocate, right? So
Hmm.
how was it? Like, how was the transition though?
The transition was actually pretty well. So the thankfully the clinic I was working at as a PTA was not that great. Like the work environment was horrible. So that's what kind of pushed me out the door to figure out what else I can do because I do enjoy helping. But wanted to know what else. I actually was thinking to be an acupuncturist,
Oh, we
but
were remember we were planning to do that.
yes, yes,
That's our as work besties. We have a course goal. Last year we did some Thai massage, but acupuncturist is a thing. We'll talk about that. But going back,
yes.
so what happened? Why didn't you push the acupuncture?
Actually, the acupuncturist in the clinic was telling me that he was telling me it wasn't the best way to go. Even when we're in class, when I because I teach a lot of the more of the assessment hands-on classes, the students always get so overwhelmed saying like, "Why do we have to know this as a massage therapist?"
I get
Right?
that a lot too.
And they describe and say, well, when we go for massages, my massage therapist has never done anything like this, so why do we have to learn this type of tools in order to be a massage therapist? And I always have to go into detail and let them understand why assessment is important, right? It may not be necessary for every massage treatment to do like, a full functional
Yeah,
movement
I agree.
assessment.
Hmm.
But some type of little, even palpation assessment is
Yeah, yeah.
important. And you can actually do that on the table. Um, what do you think about massage therapists that because a lot of massage therapists, they'll come in, they'll do like that short intake, and they'll say, okay, get prepared onto the table, not even really ask for consent either,
Oh my god, that's
right?
my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve. Oh my god. Anyway, a little bit of story time. Yesterday I
Yes.
did some law and ethics actually, and we were talking about consent. The way I see doing the assessment and consent to make it very, very interesting, okay, is to make it a marketing thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know if other RMT supports me in this idea, but I believe in my heart it's the best marketing thing that you can do. And here's why. I own a home-based practice. I just moved to a new town, you know that. You've traveled
Mm-hmm.
so far from civilization, and it's hard to market when you don't have enough friends and family. Unlike when you're in the city, you can tap a friend of a friend of a friend. You don't technically treat your friends directly, but word of mouth is easy.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how am I going to show off, not show off, to show the patient that I care for them and I know what the hell I'm doing? And that's when I kicked in. Back to the basics
Yeah.
assessments. Yes, like
Assessment.
what you said, it doesn't have to be long because there are some assessments that can be done on the table. But I let them know in consent. I say, you know what? I will do a couple of assessments since this is the first visit. Okay. But we're gonna focus on one area. And then if we can find time, we're gonna figure it out. And to be honest, Shireen, my client retention outstanding. Before in Toronto, when I did my home based practice, and I'm not doing this a lot there. I mean, I'm doing it, but not like frequently. I'm always getting a lot of cancellations because maybe they think that I'm the stereotypical massage therapist where
Mm-hmm.
I just go in, what's the problem today? Your back perfect, go in between the sheets, fly face down, I'll be back, and then shush. That's the script, right? That's
It
the
is.
script. It is definitely the script. And for you who actually is passionate, that's the script,
Yeah.
right? And that's what technically I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I may have been doing that, but I realized it's not helping my business at all in the beginning,
Mm-mm.
like way, way, way long ago, right?
Yeah.
And when I moved in this new location, no friends, no nothing, I just started wording it in a different way, but I'm assessing, listening to the client as if I am the patient. Like, what if I'm that patient? What do I want to tell the therapist so it can be solved,
Mm-hmm.
right? In Toronto, I would get 10 to 15 clients a week. That's a good. thing for doing this
Mm-hmm.
part time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you right now, my home based practice here is 20 to 30 patients a week. And this is, by the way, this January and prior to the busy seasons.
Right.
Why? And I moved here June. Why did I have it right away? Because first, word of mouth, definitely a marketing thing. But what I hear based on when I ask them who referred you here, they always say, "Oh, it's my friend because you were able to tell her what's the problem."
Mm-hmm.
It's not even about, it's not like it's not even the comments of, "Oh, because you were good." It's not
Mm-hmm.
about the generic, it's about, "Oh, because you were able to tell her what's wrong and I have this problem."
Yeah.
That's interesting for me because so it means they're really visiting me, they're booking the appointments purposefully because they want things done. And
Yeah,
apparently,
you're absolutely right.
right? And that's why I'm saying now that class yesterday I said consent and your assessment is not a legal thing. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
a legal thing, it's a marketing thing because you
Mm-hmm.
know how you can offer your best service to your patients.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding right now. Like, I swear to God, you know, 20 to 30 for a part-time job, I'm drowning for sure because I'm still teaching and podcasting and stuff. I'm not complaining that I'm busy, but I can attest it happened.
Yeah.
How about you, Shireen? Because you have a
Well,
mobile practice.
yeah, but you were right when you were saying,
Yeah.
when you use the word show off. That's actually probably the right word that you use, because that is what you're doing. You're showing off your knowledge and your skills that you have as a massage therapist. That it's more than, because a lot of clients' views
Yes.
on massage is just, it's relaxation, it's just rubbing oil, it's just, like, but then when you're speaking with the client, you're letting them understand that I understand what is happening in your body,
Yes.
right? And in order
Yes.
for me to best meet your needs and your goals, I'm going to take these appropriate steps to, collect all the information. And clients do appreciate that.
Yeah. And
Yes.
yeah,
No,
makes
I'm saying,
sense.
yes, we have those that just, just strictly want relaxation. They're not really there to promote any type of rehabilitation or
Yeah.
anything like that, which maybe assessment won't be necessary for those clients. But the ones that are definitely there for change, in terms of like movement or functionality in their body, they want to know that their massage therapist understands them. Right. And then
Yeah.
that even goes back to our thing that we talked about with client care.
Yes.
Caring for the
Yes.
client, assessment is going to help the
Amen
client
to that.
understand that you care.
Amen to that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, like what I said, like you're right. Most of our students, they feel very overwhelmed. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, you're never gonna memorize 150 tests. You're never gonna memorize the muscles right away. But if you do care about what you're doing,
Yeah.
it you're gonna force to learn it. Because you care.
Yes. Yes.
Because you
Yes.
freaking care. And I think as for you to be successful in this field, care is the most natural thing that you should have as a massage therapist.
Yeah.
I don't think it just applies to massage therapists, but all healthcare professionals,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
you do not really care or you're just in it for the money,
Mm-hmm.
mm, good luck to you. You're gonna start feeling burning out. You're gonna start hating what you do. You're gonna start hating going to work. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
dread going to work, which is I think a common trend going on right now.
Yeah, you're reading my mind, because I was
Mm,
just thinking that even like, friends, family, clients, anyone, they just kind of say, well, how do you massage all day? Like, how do you do that?
yes.
And I'm like, because I actually love what I do. I care for what
Yeah.
I do, right? And work never really feels like work. Like, yes, obviously everyone feels tired, or, like, there's some days where I wake up in the morning, I'm like, "Ugh, I just wish I could stay home today."
That's
Um,
always me.
right? But going to work never feels like dreadful for me,
Yeah.
right? I
Same.
love communicating with my clients. I love helping them. even the atmosphere I'm in. Like right now, I do mobile service, which I love because
Yeah.
I realize that working for myself works for me. Right.
Yes.
I've been in a lot of clinics, a lot of different type of clinical settings, which is great as well too to get the experience. But I
Mhm.
know that working for myself is what I like to do. But
Yeah.
that care is what drives me and what lets me continuously enjoy my job even after 10 years of treating.
So, speaking of that, you said that you want to work on your own, right? And I received a text from this student saying that, Steph, uh, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And, this student is very, very excited to graduate, and suddenly you're stopped because you feel you don't know what to do. And that's just bizarre to me. Like, suddenly you're very aggressive to graduate because you feel a little bit of stress. I have to whisper that. But again, no, I understand all students wants to graduate. It's a career they're looking forward to, right? And
Right.
then she told me that it's because there's a lot of options out there, but it seems like the clinic doesn't care. And she started the business, but nothing, no one's going, right?
Mm.
Like, how'd you go about that? So I said, to be honest, maybe you're already burning out, right? Maybe you're already over achieving things, which is, I think,
Right.
a common trend. I believe there should be done. Like, there's something that should be done with this.
Hmm.
What do you
Hmm.
think would it be though? Because I have something, but before I say it, can you let me know what you think about it first?
Um, I think
It's a tricky one, eh? It's a
yeah,
tricky
it is a
one.
tricky one because I'm just thinking like when I first graduated, I would never think to start working on my own, right? Just
Mm.
because there's so much more knowledge you need to gain
Yeah,
in the practice, right?
yeah.
Because school is a total different ball game than when you're out there. Like
Which
school
is
is just
really,
like
yes.
right? Just like the framework, to get you there. And then once you get there, it's just like, oh, well, this is actually how, because we were just talking about like assessment and clients persuading you not
Yeah,
to do assessment, then the therapist saying you don't have to do it, just make the client happy and so forth, right? So I think you definitely need to get that experience in the clinic world first,
yeah,
before you navigate out into your own. Um, but making sure that you pick a good clinic to work with as well too. For me, I my goal was I started off with a smaller business. I just say it's a smaller business because it was owned by a husband and a wife.
yeah.
And they don't have any type of franchise, right? It was just their own
Like an
clinic.
independent stuff.
Right. And
Yeah.
I hated working with them because
Ooh.
their business tactic was dollar signs, and
Oh,
they were
yeah.
healthcare workers, right? It's not even that they were just owners of clinics, they were actually healthcare workers, and it was all dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. I quickly came out of there
Mm-hmm.
and decided that my next route was just to be with big companies, so big healthcare
Ah.
companies. And once I started with the big healthcare companies, because they will follow, well, not saying that they will, but
Yeah.
more likely they will follow the rules, right?
Yes.
And that's when I start to see a different side of how
Yes.
businesses are actually ran.
Yeah. But I'm
Okay.
not saying that all small, you know what? I'm not saying that all small clinics are like that, because I also had a multidisciplinary clinic that I
Hmm.
started with a chiropractor. It didn't end well, but I don't believe it's a one-sided thing. I believe I also had a fault in this. And as a business owner, what I can tell you that it's really hard,
It
because
is.
you cannot, you have to care, but at the same time you need to think about the business.
Hmm.
That's why I stepped down on massaging and hired RMTs so that I can focus on the business aspect. Because I believe you can still run a business with caring without doing those insurance fraud and stuff.
Right. Right.
However, COVID happened, things didn't go well. The horror story I have with it is my business partner and I had two different ideas. She was
Hmm.
more focused on the business side, which is now, before I didn't understand, but now I do understand, because there's
Hmm.
a lot on our names already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think caring is one thing, but being practical is also another thing. So
That's a
that's
good
why I
point.
asked you first, because that's we actually have the similar answer to this
Yeah.
student that I had a call. I said, "Why don't you work in a big franchise clinic first?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because but you know the next question, they're like, "Yeah, but they don't pay that much." Here's the thing. Here's what I saw. It's annoying to work in those clinics because again, they're like the factory worker versions.
Right,
But
right.
they have a steady marketing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be there for 7 days a week. You
Mm-mm.
can be there like half days, 2, 3 days. And
Mm-hmm.
if you do not have any patients, it's a good stable income while
Yes.
you're looking for something else. And
Yes.
like what you said, it's a good thing because you're gonna learn the proper way. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
think these big businesses are rich? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
think these big businesses earn money?
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're it's because of their system. Their system is so intact that
Yes.
it's bulletproof. They don't care if you have insurance or not. They don't care if you can
Mm-hmm.
pay it or not. What they care is if their rate is $120 plus HST and you only have $50 and you say, "Hey, I only have $50. I want a 1 hour massage." The answer is a no.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller clinics, I notice, "Oh, I only have $50. I want a full body massage."
Yeah.
Well, for $50, you can avail our 15-minute massage. We're going to try our best, but it's
Mm-hmm.
impossible. That's how business should be,
Right.
right? And I have not, like in my previous schools, I have a lot of students arguing me with that, saying that
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how it feels. You hear the story, right? You don't know how it feels when the money is not coming in, so you need to
Yes.
do this under the table stuff. No, you don't. It means you have a bad business setup. You have a bad
100%.
business stuff. And I think you were the one who told me the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
I have another one that's similar, but I think there's one that's similar to you. What did that ex student say? By the way, this student is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically, so I was, educating the students on, not being persuaded to do
Yeah.
insurance fraud, not doing fraudulent things, or trying to, we can give clients discounts, no problem, but it has to be justified, right? And it has to be recorded in the client's file
Yes.
changing the price,
As
right?
per the
So I was
rules. Yeah.
as per the rules. So I was
Yeah.
explaining this, and then the student chimed in and was basically insinuating because I am a sole proprietor, this is why I can turn away clients, or I can um I have more leeway to kind of pick or choose what type of money I want, because all the money is going to me 100%,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And their business, they have to pay front desk, they have to pay other employees in their business as well too, and this is why they cannot turn someone away, and they would be obliged to taking in that person that wants them to just bill their insurance
Yes.
for whatever price, right? Because they have more responsibility or obligations than I do.
Yeah. I would
And I was
agree with
very
that.
offended about that.
I am offended too. Just when I heard that story, I'm like, bro, no. Like, when I have a very nice business coach. Her name is Allison, from
Hmm.
Ava Wellness. I met her on the CMC convention, which is that's a nice convention, by the way. I think it's so empowering for massage
It
therapy.
is.
Anyway,
It
but
is.
anyways, um she told me that because I was we were talking about like how really successful my home based practice, because yes, it's done in my home and I'm technically a sole proprietor technically. So how could I motivate myself to think that I'm a successful one? And she's like, motivate yourself. You are having 20 to 30 patients on a part-time basis. A full-time job is 40 hours a week, right?
Hmm.
Let's assume it's 30 to 40 hours. You're almost full-time and you're earning around 60 to $80,000 a year on that part-time job. Clean
Hmm.
cut, by the way, or removing everything, all expenses and stuff. you
Mm-hmm.
are already motivating yourself for success. So it doesn't mean that you have this big clinic, you're not a business. Because you're
Right?
right? Because you are earning more than clinics right now. So now it's a question of, number one, should you really have a big space, or should you just continue working from home? It's And then I said, I don't know. I seriously don't know. And she's like, there's only one reason for that. Business is business. Doesn't matter where you are. Mobile,
Mm-hmm.
home based, teaching, um, chair massages, clinics, spas. Business is a business. The math
Right.
is the same, which is I agree. The math is you have expenses, you have profit. You need to see the difference of that and see if you really earned a profit, and that's business.
Right.
That's why I was so offended when they're like, "Oh, you're not really a business. You don't have expenses. How about your
Right?
gas? How about your gas, man? Like, how about your gas, your time, your labor?
Mm-hmm.
That's an expense." And
Right.
massage therapist, by the way, if you're a new graduate, weekends is your highest money making days.
It is. It is.
You're gonna sacrifice a lot of time in the beginning with family and stuff like that. You can't
Mm-hmm.
be picky,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you can schedule here and there day offs, but you can't be picky. Come on. You
Mm-hmm.
need for me, a good motivating style, since we're talking about this. If you like, for that student who's looking to see if she needs to work in a clinic, or she needs to, what do you call this? She needs to, help me, Shireen. What's the word? I'm so in the zone that I forgot the word.
Be a sole proprietor.
Yes, like a
Mm-hmm.
sole proprietor or a business owner, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, right? Like the actual motivation is earn,
Yeah.
find a way to earn. If
Yeah.
your expenses is this much, you
Without
need,
fraud.
without fraud, right? Because to be honest with you, for me, fraud is more expensive. You need to fake documents, right?
Right.
Need to fake documents. You need to pay the patient. You're not gonna get the full amount. Why not just do it straightforward? Again, many people doesn't like this, but we don't care because
Right.
we I have a lot of horror stories for this. And this is what you're gonna hear every single time. But no, I think we need to motivate ourselves to actually find a way to earn
Yeah.
without degrading other people's respect for themselves by doing fraud. Fraud is
Right.
not everything. Why? Because big businesses, like, I'm gonna say the name because Massage Addict, Cannon Stone, they're franchise, they're big clinics, and
Mm-hmm.
most people, they don't like that. Some of our teams, when I started, they're like, "Oh, don't work in a Massage Addict." But I'm like,
I heard that too.
but I'm like, you need to start somewhere, and you need to
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere legit. And I
Yeah.
don't think they're a bad. Sometimes the pay, it can be small, but again, it's stability versus the amount. What are you
Right.
looking for
Yeah.
example, right? So, oh
How
my
did you
gosh.
start? Like, did you start working at a clinic, or did you start off with your like just running a business right away?
Oh my god, it's so funny. I got the email from CMTO, the college, right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
your certificate's ready for pickup. And then on the way there, I'm just applying for jobs. And then and then I got into the massage addict first. I said, "Hey, I don't have
Okay.
anything to do. Let me go." So massage addict was my first one. So
Mm-hmm.
I realized that there's a lot of potential in it, but as I'm working, I said, "You know what? The pay is not big." So I start to reduce days, and life happened to me. And then
Right.
I realized I worked with a couple of physio clinics, and my number got used in an illegal billing.
E-
Yeah. You imagine my shock? I'm like, I don't want to say bad words, but my God. Right? And I realized, now I'm thinking, I think working in a franchise clinic makes me feel safer because
Yes.
I'm not going to get
Yes.
involved. Like, and then an ex colleague told me that, you're not supposed to worry about that. Because if you think that you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. But I'm like, hello, are you forgetting about the hassle of being called in? to answer questions from the investigator, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened to me. Like they're like,
Right.
"Oh, we can't put you on the billing because your number was used." I'm like, "Bro, I stopped working there almost 8 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it's already 2023." Sorry, that was 2023 that time, right?
Oh
Why
wow.
am I still in this? Like you can check my records, and apparently they
Yeah.
have been billing me for a year. That
Wow.
you see? So yeah, that's how I started, you know? And I think many new students and new graduates should learn something in this podcast, which is it doesn't mean that people say no to it, you don't have the skills or they don't have potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Massage addict looks like it's a bad place to work at, but it has great potential. You
It
didn't
does.
you were not born rich, but because you're there, you have potential. What else? What else would you want to say to our new loving Mayo Insiders? That's our fan base, Mayo Insiders. Oh my God. What's your Mayo insights about this?
Well, same thing. You have potential. You have to put in the work. Like and that goes with anything that you do in life, anyways, right? If you don't put in the work, you don't have the care, you're not going to see the results at all,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, let's set the record straight. Once you become a massage therapist, the journey doesn't start after you graduate. That's why I hate some people saying that massage school is just a diploma. It's not.
No.
This is your basics. Your life starts here. And from there, you have to hone your craft, learn your skill, and when you're in the real life, hit it hard. You know what to do. Have a strategy. And then if
Mm-hmm.
business comes into you, find your vibe, you want to start your own business, go ahead,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
But it takes one skill for you to be successful. And it's not through breech birth, like what we have been saying, and it's through Shireen, what it is. Tell them. Tell them.
Buying care.
Client care. It all starts there.
Yeah,
My God. Caring is the real money making thing here. Even if you
it
fake
is.
it, people would know. So stop pretending. It's real, no? People know. People can smell you from a mile away.
Yeah.
I think so, one final thing that I want to say, and I'm going to let you say your piece.
Okay.
We can all be successful in this field, do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not stepping on other people's toes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not hurting your brand, you're not hurting your name, and everything will follow. It starts from school, it starts from trial and error, and everything will go into place. Right?
Right.
What do you think, Shireen?
Yeah, I agree. The same thing. It starts in school. And then once you get out there, like I was mentioning that school and work life is two different worlds, but it does start in school. This is where you have to gain that care in school and then transition it into the work field. And then you're going to see your clientele list grow. And it's not all about clientele list grow. It's all about the care that you
Yes.
provide for your clients, and it will grow naturally. So you won't
Yes.
even have to stress about your clientele list growing, because if the care is there, it's just going to automatically grow on its own.
Yes, and again, doesn't mean that you're a sole proprietor, you're not a business, you need to take care of your name. Earn
Exactly.
right, earn smart, work hard, work smart.
Yes.
That's it. I'm gonna drop my mic, but my mic is a bit pricey, so I'm not gonna drop it. But imaginary. I think this was a nice episode. And I hope our Mayo insiders that are future students of massage therapy, number one. Second would be, my God, I forgot. The new RMTs and the people
Hmm.
that wants to start a business. I hope this podcast would be the motivation you're looking for. If you saw this, you heard it, this is a sign for you to get your shit together and figure it out. Care through the heart.
Yes.
Through the heart. Eh? If we believe in this, say amen, Shireen. Amen.
again.
And again, my name is Steph, the massage therapist.
I am
Shereen.
Shreen, the RMT.
And see you for our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.